Hey everybody, hope you are all doing well. Hopefully you can see me okay. Do you guys recognize this image? I'm sure you do. I want you to just take a second and think about what does that look like? And there's really only two things that could possibly come to mind. The first one that should come to mind is that it looks like a phallus. The other thing that, that just comes to mind that's kind of in the same arena of thought is, you could say it kind of looks like the end of the devil's tail, right? Like in the imagery that they give us of what the devil supposedly looks like, that you could say that's like the tip of the tail. But it's a phallic symbol. And you may ask, why is this important? Because that symbol subconsciously, whenever you see it, it makes a statement to your subconscious mind. It represents identity, power, control. Okay? Specifically those three things. And you can go research this. Just type in what is the subconscious meaning of the phallic symbol. What does it represent subconsciously? And it'll, if it's giving you the right answer, that's what should come up. So the reason that I'm pointing it out is, I just want people to sort of wake up, because I can't tell you how long I was receiving Amazon boxes until one day, it may have even been watching something on TV, that popped up like on my Fire Stick, and I was like, it clicked. I was like, dude, that's a phallic symbol. How did I never see that before? Which, it's almost like this spell has been over humanity for a really long time. Like, there's been so many things right in front of our faces that we didn't even see until 2020. 2020 is when everything really started to kind of click. And then obviously, there was a ton of work done to try to shut everybody down and shut everybody up that was telling the truth. And it's been going on for longer than that. And I think, it's sort of a gift from God as we approach the end of days. I do believe that, the Bible says that days would be shorter, knowledge would increase. And I don't know about you guys, but myself, even my young one that I have, notices that time seems to be going much faster. This year's flown by, and I've heard so many people say the same thing. For some reason, some people, in the comments and things that I see in videos, think that, that's a crazy conspiracy theory or something. But anyways, so why is this important? Well, it's important to wake up. It's important to start seeing things with a fresh set of eyes instead of kind of the programmed mindset that we've been given our entire lives, which started when we were very young through cartoons, and then, once you get into school and just culture in general, movies and music and all of that stuff. And it's really important today because as a Christian, so I was saved when I was very little, and when I say very little, I don't know, I think it was like 6 years old or something. I don't even remember, guys. To me, it's not important. It's just important that it happened. So, but then as I got older, like so many people, I went to culinary school, which, the whole culinary world is just like, it's a crazy world. And I just completely forgot about Christianity. And long story short, I ended up getting into the New Age, around 2020, and studying symbolism, and then kind of got into the occult and was practicing rituals, doing all kinds of just absolutely crazy stuff. Because I got sucked into it because I was studying something that was very dark. I was wanting to know, like, how does this work? How are these people pulling this off? How are they controlling the masses? How did the mass hypnosis work worldwide in 2020? How did they get everybody in such lockstep to believe what was going on and participate in a satanic ritual? You know, stay 6 feet apart, cover your face with something that doesn't even work, and take this experimental, you know what? Like, there was just so much. And what's crazy too is, like, nobody even, it's like, no, I don't know if it was just so painful that people just want to kind of put it out of their mind, or if they don't want to believe that they were duped. I mean, that's a big thing for a human to realize, that they were tricked. And often we'll just kind of bury that like it never even happened. But that's dangerous, because we need to learn from our history, which is why I think history has been messed with a lot, because it repeats itself. And if we don't learn about our mistakes in the past, we're due to repeat them in the future. So that's why I bring that up. And I studied as a hypnotist for a few years, doing hypnosis in like a helpful way, not to like be on stage and hypnotize like a group of people. It was never anything like that. I wanted it as a healing modality, and I had a really good teacher, and he was telling me how the news would hypnotize people by, they would state like 3 things that, you know, people saw as factual, and then you have like this guardian at the gate, so to speak. You know, I think he used the expression, you know, he basically goes for a cup of coffee. Once that kind of protection is there and it hears 3 truths, it sort of loosens up its security. And then the individual being exposed to this information is way more susceptible to whatever is said after that. So for whatever that's worth, I hope that helps in adding to what we're talking about, which is symbols. Now, what really got me fired up and finally decide, okay, I'm gonna just, because I didn't know what video to make first. There's like so many things to talk about. What really got me fired up was I've just gotten so tired of watching Christian channels, and funnily enough, it's the ones that are ex-occultists that are exposing the occult. I've seen them use, and guys, you'll see it now that I've shown it to you. I've seen them use this symbol. Let's turn it this way, because that's the way it usually looks. They'll show you that. Okay, so pay attention to it, because they'll make it look like they're pointing to something. And some of them get really creative, and they'll go out of their way, and they'll have like 2 or 3 of those things on there. So pay attention to that, because, you know, what bothers me is either they don't know that it's a phallic symbol. And guys, I'm not talking about like a straight arrow. Like, a lot of them actually use the curved version. Okay, and some could say, okay, well, the arrow, hang on a second, I gotta go turn my oven off. Some could say that the arrow is actually just a normal symbol. But no doubt, I mean, Amazon is showing you when it's curved like that, it is representing a phallic symbol, okay? And I noticed too, like this one channel, she was doing like question marks in a really weird way, like exclamation point, question mark. And so when I went to go look up, like, what is the question mark? And it's funny because, you know, it gave a couple of answers, and then it said, and then like the third option was, well, this is just like, what did they call it? Like a myth or something like that. It's a myth that it actually, the question mark was used by the Egyptians, or it references cats to the ancient Egyptians. And guys, that's a whole like other episode rabbit hole that I won't go down right now as to why the Egyptians worshipped cats. But one thing that I've learned is that most of the people that are occultists, that are um, influencing you through symbols and things like that, a lot of them are based off of Egyptian magic. You know, pyramids, um, all sorts of things. Because Egypt, you know, even in the Old Testament, like Egypt was kind of like the original demonic stronghold. And that's actually what I was studying when I was studying the occult. It was the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn. Um, lots and lots and lots of Egyptian magic and symbols and things that were studied in there. So just, I'm just calling it out. I'm just exposing it because it's crazy that we can be living our lives and we can see these things all the time, and people can be, I mean, I hate to say it, but they can be mind controlling us and manipulating us, getting us to consume their content when really we don't even want to. I mean, it blows my mind. Like, as much as I hate Amazon, guys, like, I I catch myself all the time wanting to get on Amazon and order something. I mean, it's handy, and especially if you have Amazon Prime, like, you know, like I had some serious health issues arise about a year and a half ago, and unless I want to wait like 2 weeks to get something from some other company, and a lot of times I can't even find it from another company, or it's difficult, you know, and it's just so much easier to get it from Amazon. So, you know, not only did they get away with putting that symbol in my face hundreds, if not thousands of times without me having any idea what it means, they were controlling my mind, and still to some degree are, you know, and I say to some degree because once you expose this stuff and you start seeing it, honestly, I think it breaks the spell, you know, because at this point, it's really like I understand what Amazon is doing. So I have started to order more things from independent companies. But like I said, sometimes I need something for work, or I just, you know, there's a certain product that I need. And you know, to be honest, like I don't feel like waiting for it. So I just get it from Amazon. And that's a real issue. At least for me, it is. It means it pisses me off, if I'm being honest, that these companies are doing this to us, very well knowing what they're doing. They're asserting an influence that is so incredibly powerful, not just through the symbols. Like I want to make this point. It's not just through the symbols. I mean, if you think about how Amazon essentially got the post office to deliver their packages for them. Now I'm starting to see Amazon Prime vans, so I don't know. Excuse me, I don't know how that works. Like, but honestly, at this point, it doesn't even matter how it works. The fact is that they took over the post office, and those poor postal workers had to deliver all of Amazon's packages. And from the research that I did do a couple of years ago, it didn't seem like they had much of a choice, or that, you know, it was really costing Amazon very much to do it. In fact, what I had heard was that Amazon wasn't really paying them anything to do it. And maybe that was something that I'd heard Trump say. So, you know, that could be legit or not. But anyways, a big point of this channel, I should say this is a Christian channel. Okay, guys. But it's for everybody. And my hope for the people that are not Christians is to see what is going on in the world, and realize that coming to Christ is, guys, it's the only choice that we have. I mean, honestly, it is that important, because the world is getting to a place where I can't imagine not being a Christian and not reading my Bible every single day, being in prayer every single day, asking for wisdom and discernment. And I have to say that, like, since I've began doing that, I made it a point to read the entire Bible this year. I'm not saying that to brag on myself. I'm just saying, even ask whether you're a Christian or you're not a Christian, like, especially if you're a Christian, do me a favor, go and read the entire Bible. Okay? Read the entire thing, because I went to church my whole life, never did read the entire Bible like I did this year, and I discovered a lot of stuff. I realized that there was a thread that went through the entire book that I didn't realize before. So please go do that. Pray for wisdom and discernment. Find good channels. Like, ask yourself, is this channel adding to my existence here? Pay attention to your body. Like, what is your body doing? Is your heart beating really fast? Are you really pissed off? And to be honest, some of this content that I'm making may irritate people, because part of waking up to what has been happening to us is frustrating. But it's important, though, that it happens, because Jesus constantly warned, do not be deceived, and we are to expose the works of darkness. So I'm sorry if it, if it's having a negative effect, but it's tricky, guys, because there's people out there who are exposing certain aspects about what's been going on. I mean, people that are, if you hear somebody openly talking about and exposing 9/11, that does not mean that they're on your side. If they're saying that they, love Jesus Christ, again, guys, that does not mean they're on your side. And even take this, towards me, like, take it towards everybody. Just because I claim I'm a Christian, guys, I'm just telling you, like, I am. But watch what people say. I mean, really watch what they say. Like, you will know them by their fruits. Are they exposing darkness? Are they trying to give you tools that are actually helping you in your daily life? Or are they trying to keep you glued to your screen? Because it can be addictive. Like, getting caught up in the whole political WWF, wrestling arena that's really been going on strong since like 2016. I mean, it's addictive, it's like pro wrestling moved, to politics. And people think that, oh, we're taking over the media. No, guys, like, the right-wing conservative media, it's the same beast that's just moved off into a different bracket with new people. And I'm sure there are genuinely good people, good Christian people, who have no idea who's above them pulling their strings, okay? So, but just ask yourself, like, is this information useful? And be honest with yourself, like, break it down. Is this really helping me in my daily life? Oh, well, they're warning me of food shortages. Okay, has that happened yet? And if they are warning you about that, and it's probably a genuine concern that everybody should at least have, like, some water and stuff stored up. But I mean, if they're constantly harping on about that kind of thing, tune out. Like, go stock up your house and move on. And that's what I'm trying to do with this channel. I'm trying to give you things, some perspectives and things that will help you, A, either come to Christ or strengthen your relationship, and B, make better decisions by not allowing the spell casting that is going on to influence you. Because they'll take your money. I mean, these people that go on and on and on, like, guys, they're making a lot of money with your time and attention. I'm going to try to keep these videos as short as I possibly can. So this one's probably gone on even longer than I wanted it to. It's almost 20 minutes. So I'm going to cut it off there because, guys, I want you to go out and see God's creation. It's that time of year. We should be outside as much as possible. And at nighttime, we should be with our families. And if you don't have a family, read your Bible instead of scrolling on Facebook, or, watching demonic movies on YouTube, or, listening to the newest high priest or high priestess releasing music on, Spotify, or whatever it is, guys. It's Babylon all around us. just repackaged. Essentially the same players are all here, and they will always be here until the end comes. All right, love you guys, and have a great day.